Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at www.audibletrial.com/comedy podcast network. Over 100,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player.
Everybody, and welcome to another Sports podcast. I'm Joel Anderson.
I'm Jordan Pomaville.
And joining us, as always, is the sports outsider, Phil Ranta.
What? I can't hear you.
Sports outsider.
I can't.
Come on in, Phil.
You.
Come on in.
Oh, okay.
Oh, come on in.
All
Big
right, I
Tent.
can't hear you.
It's a Big Tent sports podcast.
Hey
me,
there.
yeah.
Catch any games this week, Phil?
No.
Really? Because there's a lot going on. We got
I
the
did not
There's a
catch
lot
any games.
going on.
Name one thing that's going on. Name
pro
one thing.
pro football,
Not for me.
uh,
Not for me. Because
baseball coming down to the last 8 games.
I'm not a
Pennant,
professional
race.
athlete.
Well, I can tell.
Yeah. However, I did run on the treadmill yesterday.
Yeah?
Kind of track and field.
How'd you do?
I didn't break my PR, but I got some good laps in.
Yeah.
All right. How far'd you go?
I went about 3/4 of a mile.
3/4 of a mile?
Yeah.
How long did that take you? How many minutes
About
we talking?
9 minutes.
About 9 minutes?
Yeah. I got really tired after that, so I stopped and then I took a nap.
Well, hey, it's a start, buddy.
Yep,
Yeah.
it's a start, buddy. It's a start, buddy.
All right. Well, why don't we go into our contractually obligated first bit?
Tim Tebow, update, watch, update.
Update, watch, update.
T-Bone!
Brought to you by Mentos. Put that in your mouth.
What?
That's not the flavor. What is the...
Feel the rush in your
Oh,
mouth.
feel the rush in your mouth.
Mentos, feel the rush,
Yeah.
yeah.
I can't believe you guys forgot the branding statement that we're getting paid so much
Yes,
to
no,
say.
we know, but it's just
Things are out of control. We got Audible.com.
Yep,
We have
Audible.com.
Stitcher Radio.
Yep,
And now
Stitcher.com.
Mentos, feel the rush in your mouth.
Yeah. Mentos, feel the rush in your mouth.
so.
All right.
What's big word on Timmy Tebow?
Tim Tebow, not getting a lot of snaps. But let's check this out. Tim Tebow, 4th down and 3. They put Tebow in. You
There
know
it
why?
is. Because everyone was chanting Tebow, and he spent 4 years at Notre Dame, but never got in a game. So then it was the last game.
Phil,
and then-
that is not. That's
not how this went down.
no, that's the movie Rudy.
He went to
Oh,
Florida. He
that's
won
right,
2
it was
national championships at
Rudy.
Florida.
He was in a
Yeah.
Super
Played in
Bowl
the
commercial. He's
Yeah.
incredibly well known.
Rudy, yeah.
Anyway, 4th and 3. They put Tebow in. Fake punt.
What?
Tebow rushes for 5 yards for a 1st down. That is what Tim Tebow brings to the team.
They put him in on a fake punt?
Well, yeah. And I
They
would
would know that
wonder
it was
the
fake.
other team wouldn't think like, mate, I wouldn't. They don't use
Say,
him enough.
what's Tim Tebow doing?
Oh, they're probably just punting, and this is another way to humiliate him. No, he got in the game.
Wow, good for him.
Tim Tebow would finish with 2 carries for 0 yards total. He has no passes attempted this year.
What?
Yeah, this
He's
year.
a quarterback. Quarterbacks pass.
Well, he's a backup quarterback.
Yeah.
It
It is, I gotta say, a little strange. What with Tebow being, I mean, a magical Jesus motivated guy who
The left-handed
Whoa,
thunder
whoa,
arm.
whoa.
Yeah.
Magic and Jesus cannot be used in the same sentence.
What?
When,
How-
when
how-
it's Tim Tebow, you can't.
Magic is, in Christian terms, are called miracles, Joel, and miracles are controlled by the one and only God, our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So Jesus used magic to cure
No,
lepers
he
and
used
blindness. and-
miracles, Joel.
Tim Tebow is plugged into that.
Yeah, he's plugged into
Fine.
the miracle machine.
Well, and speaking of miracles,
I mean, every time you watch him throw the ball, you go, "Wow, it's going to take a miracle for him to complete a pass." And sure enough,
boo.
now here's the most baffling part of Sunday's game.
Mm-hmm.
Jets win 23-20 in OT without Tebow taking any snaps in OT.
don't
What?
understand.
How is that possible? That was his calling card last year with the Broncos.
Yeah.
Wait, you can win without using a Tebow?
Yeah, that's
That's what Rex Ryan will have you believe.
Well,
yeah.
geez.
It is a brave new world out there.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I thought you were getting more. You said it.
no,
like it
I'm
wasn't
just
the end of
saying
it.
That
it's,
was it,
it's a
Tim.
world where you don't necessarily. I mean, again, if you watched national news media last year, you'd assume that it was impossible to win a football game without having Tim Tebow at
Right.
quarterback.
It was just that it sounded like you were ending with a comma and not a period.
Oh, I'm
on
sorry.
that one.
No, I was. It's a brave new world. Period.
All right. fair
A
enough.
world in which, well, that was more of a comma, wasn't it?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
So that's it for Tim Tebow update.
Okay,
Watch update.
that's your
All right.
weekly Tebow watch
Well, I'm
update.
sad I missed it.
Mentos, feel the rush in your mouth.
Feel the rush in your mouth.
Monday Night Football.
Yeah, I didn't catch the game. Anything big happen?
Oh, did it ever?
Oh,
I didn't catch the game either. Only I think Joe was being sarcastic,
I was
and
being
I was being
sarcastic.
serious.
Whoa, Nelly.
Whoa, Nelly, indeed. What happened?
Last play of the game.
Okay.
Seattle's,
Buzzer beater.
the football equivalent of a
Nice.
buzzer beater. They toss up the Hail Mary.
Ah.
They just throw it
Hail
into the
Mary
end
full
zone.
of grace. The Lord is with thee.
Yeah, that's
You
why it's
can't
called
finish
that.
it, and I know you
it's a
can't.
prayer.
Bless. All right, go on.
Take a seat. Come back to class when you've learned it. Russell Wilson throws it up into the end zone. It would appear Green Bay intercepts the ball in the end zone as time expired. However, the refs rule that Seattle caught it. It's a touchdown. That's the game.
Whoa,
won
stop.
The game.
If somebody intercepts it, how would they think did the guy like switch jerseys?
No, it's okay. So the guy from Green Bay catches it.
Okay.
He catches it, but then the guy from Seattle like reaches over and grabs the ball while the guy from Green Bay is holding onto it because he just caught it. But the guy from Seattle like also grabs it.
Oh, so he like called dibs.
But then the Green Bay guy falls down to the ground. Still has most of the ball.
Yeah.
Two refs go over to the play. One ref goes a third down. The other ref just goes interception, touchback.
Oh,
They standing
was
next
one
to
of them
each other.
Tony Spumante?
No, he was watching the game at home though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
People went ballistic because this is a terrible call and these are replacement refs.
Sure.
Yeah. People went ballistic. You
But
want to hear?
thank goodness that we have a system for instant replay in the NFL to prevent things like now the refs can go back, they can look at it from every conceivable angle,
Sure.
and obviously see what everyone else in America could see, which is that this was obviously an interception
So
for
they
Green
did
Bay
that,
and the
right?
game was over. They did review it, and they still came to the conclusion that Golden Tate had placed his hands on the ball and that somehow was a simultaneous catch and therefore a touchdown. Seattle wins when they clearly didn't.
Oh.
And the replacement ref controversy, which was already at a boiling point, is now explosively.
It's boiling over.
Sure.
Yeah, people are.
Someone check on the pasta. It's boiling over.
I'm making a red sauce.
Little Tony Spee over there.
What?
Tony
That was-
Spoo over there.
That was me doing my Tony Spumante.
But here's the thing:
impression.
when they look at the instant replay, they say the call stands, but then again, it's which one? Because two refs made simultaneously different calls at the same time. They look like Keystone Cops.
It's hard to. I honest to God feel like the three of us could have gotten that call correct
Yeah.
if we had been there. I don't understand how this happened.
I think that I probably would have been on the sidelines being like, now's the time I do something. What happened? All right, what's going on?
But that's what I'm saying. That
Yellow
Hey,
rag.
Why do you make me sound like that when I'm a ref? Hi.
Hey guys, yellow rag.
It's like
yellow
Fred
rag.
Schneider from the B-52s all of a sudden.
I'll have a cheeseburger.
But Phil, your inactivity would be better than what these refs did, which was actively blow the game. It's like
Okay.
actively on a Hail Mary in the last play, they took the game away from Green Bay.
So people are upset.
yes, people are upset. Phil.
People took to the Twitterverse to express their feelings.
Oh no,
Yeah.
Twitter riot.
Yeah, TJ Lang, the Packers guard, said, "Fuck it, NFL. Find me and use the money to pay the regular refs."
Wow.
He comes up with a solution.
That's
yeah,
smart.
yeah, you gotta
Wants to
admit.
be a part of the solution. Armani Toomer says, "Funny, I thought I was watching the NFL and not WWE."
Wait,
Ooh.
Armani Toomer?
Armani.
Armani Toomer.
So his name is like a really high-class suit brand and Toomer.
He's not been in football. He was in football league for a long time.
Yeah.
He's now out. You've missed the boat on.
Armani Toomer.
You've missed the boat on how funny the name is.
jokes are.
That's
they've
a
been
really
made.
funny name, though.
This is why you should pay attention to sports, Phil.
Troy Aikman says these games are a joke.
Oh,
Wait, Ake Man? He's a man? No, I've heard that name before.
Greg Jennings.
What? Like Ken Jennings, Jeopardy champion?
Come on, man. Can't be upset anymore. All I can do is laugh. Laugh at the #NFL for allowing America's game to come to this. Wow.
yeah.
Whoa.
People are upset.
I thought America's game was American Gladiators.
No.
I thought that was America's
Well,
Football-
that's been off the air for a while. and
football is
football's
king.
filled the void.
Yeah, it's really good.
However, our very own, well, not our very own, a friend of the podcast, Tony Spumante.
Hey,
He was
I
on
like
last
that
week's
guy.
podcast. We asked him about replacement refs. Tony Spumante had a lot of things to say that would seem to indicate that he does not actually know much about the rules of football or the game of football itself.
Right. Well, we looked at his Twitter account just to see
So
what
are those
his.
all the ones that you retweeted from ours Twitter account at
Yeah.
Sports Number 3 Podcast?
Some of them we couldn't.
Yeah.
My replacement ref buddy Dale's doing Monday Night Football. I just saw him on TV. #SoJealous. #SmallWorld.
Hey.
Yeah.
CenturyLink Field is rocking. You know when you turn down your car radio when you're looking for an address. #officiating games and that noise. Totally the same thing.
Huh.
That's not
The
promising.
voice would be better with a little Christina Aguilera jiggle, wiggle, jiggle. Know what I'm saying? #jiggle, wiggle, jiggle.
That sounds like something
Tony
Tony
Spumante
boobs would
boobs.
say.
Yeah,
There
kind
you
of.
go.
It sounds like he might have been flipping
Yeah.
between the game and something else.
yeah,
That's
the voice is
disturbing.
also on Monday nights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa, did I miss something, Twitter? #got the jiggle, wiggle, jiggle, but missed some big play or something.
So he missed the. He
Yeah.
missed because he was watching The Voice.
Next up, just caught a replay. Both refs got it wrong. I don't see the safety signal. #it's the penis-looking one.
That is the. I guess. Okay. He does know the signal for safety. There wouldn't be a safety
Was not
in
a
this instance.
safety.
Yeah.
No controversy if they ran a better play. #hook and ladder rules. Hail Mary drools.
No.
Yeah.
Both spelled with Z.
Okay.
He knows a lot more terms than I thought he would know. That's
then-
pretty
Yeah,
impressive.
He misused almost all of them.
Yeah.
But you know, gotta hand
Well,
it.
except the jiggle, wiggle, jiggle.
Right.
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Tony Spoo on Twitter. If we get any more funny Tony Spumante tweets, we'll be sure to
Oh,
kick
totally.
them back out
Yeah.
there into the Twitterverse.
Last one was touchdowns are 6 points. #now I've seen everything. #Seahawks win.
Nice.
He didn't know touchdowns.
Apparently
were
did
6
not know
points.
touchdowns are 6 points.
Yeah.
That's
Go figure. Well, it should be 1
problematic.
point, and then the extra point should be 1 point.
That's no.
Then
Phil.
the extra point would be worth
And then a
exactly
field
as
goal
much
would be
as-
1
You
point.
sound like a Spoomanti right now.
You know what? You go Spumante yourself.
Whoa, guys, whoa.
All right,
A lot of Spumante getting thrown around here. Let's maybe dial it back a little bit.
Phil. You say we got a weird sport today?
You're goddamn right we do.
All right.
Hey, we also have an interview with NFL kicker Detroit Lion Jason Hanson.
Hey, that'll be
Jason
fun.
Hanson recently set the record for the longest player to play, the longest time served on a single team in the NFL.
Oh, I don't like him already.
Well, that's perfect. We're gonna ask you to leave.
Yeah.
What? How
When
come
he
I'm getting
comes here-
kicked out for every interview now?
Jason Hanson is one of the most respected individuals. I've been watching him since I was a little kid. I am not going to let you besmirch him.
fine.
on my
I'll
podcast.
leave.
There
I don't
were
wanna
years
besmirch.
where I believe the Lions went the first 4 games, and he was the only one scoring points for them.
Wow. Good for him.
They won.
I
They
remember
won a
those
couple
years.
games like 15 to 12, and it was
Yeah.
like Jason Hanson carrying the
All
load.
we got.
Well,
All
nice.
we got.
And then I am psyched about this because I know everyone loves football,
Yeah.
but I think
Yeah.
America's pastime still baseball.
They still playing baseball right now?
They are still yes. This is the most exciting time for baseball because it's pennant race.
Okay.
Wait,
And-
I thought American Gladiators was American
No,
Gladiators.
no, Phil, they stopped
no.
doing that even.
Oh, jeez.
But feel my forehead.
Yep. Feeling it.
That's a fever. I have pennant fever, so I'm
Okay.
I'm ready to do my segment, Jordan's pennant fever. I'm gonna go back and forth, and we're gonna kind of break down some of the races, the division races, and the wild card. And I'm really excited
what's more
about.
races? No?
No,
Okay.
we'll
right.
bring that back though. That's coming back.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. All right. Okay, this is we got a really a guest who I guess not as big a name as we've had in this podcast. Obviously,
true.
we've had everyone from Queen Elizabeth II to Jack Nicholson, on the podcast. But this is maybe the most excited I've ever been for an interview because we have here with us Jason Hanson, place kicker for the Detroit Lions, one of my all-time favorite players. I've been watching you for your entire career. Welcome to the podcast, Mr. Hanson.
Thank you, Joel. It's good to be here, Jordan.
It's great to see you, Jason. I'm so glad you're still with the Lions.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Is there somewhere where I can put my walker during
Yeah.
the interview?
Sure.
Where
we'll
my
just-
walker will be safe for no one to steal it?
Well, no one's gonna
yeah,
steal
no
your
one's gonna
walker.
steal
it. Okay.
We have locks on the doors
yeah.
now.
So
Thank
it should be
you.
just fine. Boy, in person, you look more decrepit.
I've
than-
been playing football a long time, Joel.
Yes. Pro football for 20 years.
Here, have a quarter. Have a quarter and go buy yourself a Coke.
Well,
Thank you, Mr. Hanson.
thank you. You could, okay.
You kid, I know how you kids like your Coca-Cola Classic
Yes,
and your
absolutely.
cocaine.
No.
Okay.
You can
Well,
have
we don't really
both.
do any.
No.
We don't do any
None of-
cocaine.
none of
but-
that.
All right, then drink your soda anyway.
Okay. Well, Jason, Mr. Hanson, I'm sorry. You came into the league in 1991.
I've been playing football for 21 years.
Yes,
I
it's
bet that's longer than you've even been alive.
No.
not quite. No.
21 years, back in the 90s.
Yeah,
you weren't alive to see the 90s.
I was actually alive. I saw most of the
It was
80s.
a
All of
time of economic prosperity. Gas was 89 cents.
I do remember that. Yeah, that was
Premium was over $1 though.
Yeah.
There was a president named George Bush, but not the George Bush you know.
What?
This
Yes,
was
well,
an older George
I do.
Bush.
Yep, I remember
Right,
that.
right.
Absolutely.
But he looked younger at the time. Now he's 21 years older.
Yes, you are absolutely correct about that. But what we'd really like to hear about is your time, with the Lions. You obviously came into the league. You were on a team with Barry Sanders, I think the greatest football player of all
I
time.
played with Barry Sanders.
Absolutely.
Back then, they were quite racist against black people in the football.
I
No,
don't.
that's not.
In
That's not.
I really don't think that.
1991.
That's not. No. No.
Things now that was before they even had a black president.
Well,
That's
They had
factually
nothing
accurate.
but
I know.
white
Factually
presidents
correct.
back
I
then.
mean, even then, the majority of players in the NFL were African American, and I don't remember there being.
this
any
was
explicit
before the
racism.
CW was even a network.
That's
It was called
That's
the
also
WB and UPN.
that is correct, Jason. These are all things that are correct about the early '90s, but again, we remember them.
Yeah, and I don't think it's the distant past the way you're framing it.
I Saw the Sign was a song by a band called Ace of Base.
I do remember that, unfortunately.
People played that song when I was starting.
Okay, yep, we got that, Jason.
What
Absolutely.
are some of the differences in the game? Because obviously there's been rule changes. Basically babying
Yes.
wide receivers. I know that you hate, Joel.
Good question, Jordan.
there
What
were
are some
so
of the differences
many
between the game
differences.
then and now?
Yeah.
So many differences. In fact, the main difference, there was never a team that went 0-16.
That's
Back in my day when I started football,
that is correct.
Yep.
You were on.
everybody had at least one win
Well, that's not true.
when I started football.
No, that's
Well, actually, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers went 0-14 in the early '80s. And
But not 0-16.
That's right.
correct.
Within 16 games, they probably got some points.
it's
We
funny you
used to
bring this
play
up.
on grass.
no.
No,
You always have played
always
in a
played on
domed
turf in
environment.
Nope. Back in high school, I played on grass.
Okay, that's probably true. Grew up in Washington.
Don't doubt
Went to Washington
me.
State.
I'm an old man.
No, it's okay.
You're
listen.
really only 42 years old.
I'm 42 years old. I bet you can't even count that high.
Where did he get the prune juice from?
I'm drinking prune juice to help my digestive
well, that's
tract.
actually not a bad idea. It
It's
does
not
keep
a
you
terrible
regular.
idea.
Yeah.
It's just I don't. It's a
Do
several
you
cans
two
of it.
remember the Great Depression?
No.
no. of course
Neither
not.
do I.
Of course you
That
don't.
was way before my time.
Yeah, we know that, Jason. Mr.
Back
Hanson,
when
I'm sorry.
I started football,
Okay.
Quentin Tarantino wasn't popular. He only made one movie.
That's fascinating. I can only imagine what the world
Pulp
was like.
Fiction hadn't gotten nominated for Best Picture yet. That happened in '94.
Yeah.
We remember. Mm-hmm.
I didn't know when I was coming to this interview that I was sitting down for a history lecture.
Yeah,
From
we
you,
really thought we
Mr.
were going to talk
Hanson.
some football.
Back in my day, Osama bin Laden walked the earth.
Yes, that was true.
He was about to terrorize the world in a decade.
That was
we
true.
didn't know.
It was true like a year ago that he was still alive.
Yes. It was up until very recently.
Back in my day, there was no sports podcast.
I would imagine.
There wasn't even podcasts. We called it radio, and it was free for people, young and old, to access through their cars.
Podcasts aren't really that different.
Have
It's-
another nickel.
Thank you.
And
Go buy yourself a nickel candy.
never in your existence was it a quarter for a Coca-Cola and a nickel for candy. That was not-
Apparently, you don't have an Aldi's by you. Aldi's is a discount store in the Midwest where you can get cans of soda for a quarter.
It actually comes from Scandinavia.
Scandinavia? Back in my day, Scandinavians roamed the earth. Just like
still
they do now.
They absolutely do now. I mean, there's so much that we could spend this interview talking about, Mr. Hanson.
Yes. Let's talk about my storied career that spanned 21
Yes.
years.
Yes.
Thank you. Please.
What would you like to know about my career?
What was your biggest kick?
Yeah.
My biggest kick was when I kicked Hitler's head off at the end of
Okay,
World War II. That's how he really
Okay,
died.
we're gonna-
Ava Braun got a kick right to the testicles.
We're gonna go ahead and
I am so disappointed in this interview.
That happened before I was born.
Did you soil yourself?
I'm very old.
No.
42 years.
Okay.
This doesn't make
I'm
any
coming
sense.
to you
can't-
from beyond the grave.
I feel bad about kicking Phil out for this
I'm
one, yeah.
very old.
No.
Phil actually would have had some barbs and zingers.
Yes, and all we have was listen.
Back when I started
Misplaced
football,
idol track.
Phil
Okay.
was 9.
Do you need us to call you a driver?
Call my nurse.
You have a nurse?
I got a nurse to carry me from different locations onto the field and off the field.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to take my walker and go feed a duck some bread.
Yeah. Okay.
That's actually a good use of your time.
Yeah, this concludes our interview with Jason Hanson. Mr. Hanson, thanks again for coming, and thanks again for being such a great lion over the years.
I'll be dead soon.
Pennant fever.
Okay, that's
I
a
don't
good
know what
drop.
that was a parody of.
No, it's
No, this is original content.
Oh, okay.
I'm excited. I'm a huge baseball fan, and I know it's football time, but
It
it's
is football
September
season right now.
and we're in the home stretch. I got pennant fever.
You know what, Jordan? Actually, I gotta agree with you. I've got some pennant fever too. I've been looking over, some of the races here, and I think there's some really interesting angles that we can look at.
Oh my gosh! First of all, Chicago and Detroit, they're neck and neck in the Central.
Absolutely.
Who's going to win the AL Central?
As of tonight, they're tied. They probably won't be when you're listening to this podcast,
but it'll still be close, and it'll still be exciting.
Here is the thing that I find really interesting, okay? We got Detroit and we got Chicago coming down the stretch here. They are tied at the moment. Why does this race really matter? Well, downtown Detroit, Comerica Park, is right next door to Ford Field, where the Lions play. Now, should Detroit make the playoffs in baseball and be playing games in October, how is that going to affect the traffic situation around Ford Field? Is there a potential, however slight, that Calvin Johnson, wide receiver for the Lions, might be a little bit late for warm-ups because there's extra traffic going into Ford Field because of some baseball game?
Well, I would hope not, but
I have some favorite restaurants down there. What if both of them together affect traffic for my favorite restaurants?
Absolutely. People going to
This
Chili's
is
Chili
bullshit.
downtown might be delayed because of a baseball game.
I want a Coney dog.
you know what? No, forget about it. Okay, Baltimore and the Yankees. Okay, they're in the AL East again, going back and forth. Baltimore, it looks like they got a wild card spot probably locked up.
Yeah.
How do you think this one's going to shape up?
This one, another really interesting angle that I think a lot of people aren't covering this in the national news media. But all right, Giants play in New Jersey, but Camden Yards in Baltimore,
Where the Orioles play.
absolutely, is a mere half mile away from Danny Espinosa's house. Danny Espinosa, the PA announcer for Baltimore Ravens home games. Now, what happens if October baseball games go late and result in Danny Espinosa being kept up by the noise? Now, I have talked to some of his neighbors, and they have described the noise from the stadium near Danny's house as pretty much negligible. But we're going to keep an eye on this, because if the PA announcer is drowsy, while he's calling the football game. Maybe he calls the wrong jersey number or the wrong person on the tackle. They get upset about it.
Like,
an NFL game could be affected by this, Jordan. And that could have playoff implications in the NFL.
Late night, games, it's usually extra innings, and that's really exciting October baseball. And
yeah, but it could impact an NFL game.
Yeah, what if a Pennant thing started happening and then Joel had to go on really long rants about football?
Absolutely.
I don't want that to happen. I'd bite bored to death.
well, okay. What about NL East?
Okay.
Washington Nationals have already clinched a spot in the postseason.
Oh, and this is a huge deal.
Atlanta Braves are right behind them in the wild card. I mean, they shut down Strasburg. What's the rotation going to be like for the Nationals?
Well, yeah, a lot of people are talking about that. Here's what I think they're really, really concerned about. Obviously, a very big deal for Washington, D.C.
It's huge. It's a new
Have not had a
team.
baseball team.
Yeah.
A new team. First time they've ever been. I think we're all thinking the same thing here, right? How does this affect RG3 psychologically? Right? Robert Griffin III,
thinking.
Oh,
new
I thought you were
quarterback
talking
in
about a
Washington.
robot.
He's like a robot. That's how
Oh.
good he is, Phil. But, how is this going to affect RG3 in his play? Now, we talked to RG3. We sat down with him, and he said, quote, "Oh, I don't really follow baseball. Is that what the local team is called?" So that sounds like a guy who you never know. Might be just a grain of something planted in his head. It's gonna change the outcome of an NFL game.
All right. Well, NL, the San Francisco Giants have locked up the NL West. And the LA Dodgers, they've switched ownership. They're still struggling. They're still in the wild card race. Kind of interesting as they go down the stretch here. They brought a lot of players, and they brought in Josh Beckett. What do you think? How does this team look for next year? Can they make a push for the wild card?
Okay, here's the thing, Jordan.
Yeah.
There is no NFL team in Los Angeles.
Right. All the more reason we should be
which
talking
I
Dodger
feel like is really
baseball.
strange. How is there not an NFL team in Los Angeles? I don't even know why we're talking about this right now. But I mean, I guess it's possible that maybe Josh Beckett has too much beer and chicken and fried chicken, and in his drowsy state accidentally drives off the road and hits Matt Barkley, which could affect his position in the NFL draft next year. I don't know what your angle is in this one, Jordan.
Pennant fever.
For you, the listeners of Sports Podcast, Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service. I personally recommend a wonderful book called The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. Joel saw the movie. He said that it was okay. To download your free audiobook today, go to audibletrial.com/comedy podcast network. Again, that's audibletrial.com/comedy podcast network for your free audiobook. And now it's time for another Weird Sports! Weird Sports.
Boy, at the end there, it sounded like Phil was breaking down.
No, the person who made the drops fell into a well.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
no.
What's this going to mean for next week? Are we going to have to find a new person to do the drop?
No, Echo Man will live.
Okay, is that his name?
Echo Man.
I never really introduced myself.
You never say hi to him.
I know.
He just comes
I
to
feel
the
pretty
recording
bad about
booth
that.
and does his Echo Man thing.
Yeah.
And then you ignore him because you're paying attention to your guest.
But then you're like, hey, what's up, Echo Man? He's like, nothing much. And
Right.
it's just really irritating to talk to him.
Yeah, it is. He's got to be bad on a date. Well, this
Yeah.
week's Weird Sport, World Sauna Championships.
Huh?
World Sauna Championships.
Who can build the best cedar sauna?
One would think.
Right.
That's not it?
That is not it, no. The World Sauna Championships were an annual endurance contest held in Heinola, Finland from 1999 to 2010. They originated from unofficial sauna sitting competitions that resulted in a ban from a swimming hall in Heinola.
So wait, it's just how long can you stay in a sauna?
Yeah!
That sounds horrendously dangerous.
No, it's not that dangerous. It lasts
mean-
for 11 years. How dangerous can it be? We'll see, Joel. The championships were first held in 1999 and grew to feature contestants from over 20 countries. Sauna bathing at extreme conditions is a severe health risk. All competitors competed at their own risk and had to sign a form agreeing not to take legal action against the organizers.
Hey, you sign one of those in laser tag, no biggie.
Yeah, totally. I signed those, like, what don't you do? Like, everything you do now, you have to sign one of those.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But my favorite little subheading behind how dangerous it is on this section, it says, notably, the Finnish Sauna Society strongly opposed the event.
Wait a minute.
Oh, well, you can't go against the FSS.
Yeah,
Well,
the union didn't like them.
Why did they oppose it? If they're sauna people, you'd imagine
'Cause it's-
sauna people would love a celebration of saunas.
No, it's like how Budweiser commercials say drink responsibly.
But they don't mean it.
Yeah. Well, these people might not have meant it either.
Oh, but they had to be like, hey, guys, don't stay in the sauna too long.
Well,
Yeah.
these people could be like sauna purists, you know.
Right.
Maybe they don't like the way that the big money of
Has come in
sauna
and made it a
competitions
competition.
has
Right.
ruined the pure joy of just sitting in a sauna.
Well, we should go over the rules so
Yeah.
that we know how to have our own fun trying to murder ourselves in a sauna.
You do that. Hang on, I'm going to turn up the thermostat.
Okay, here we go. The starting temperature is 110 degrees Celsius.
Your thermostat doesn't go up to 110, Phil. I'm
Okay.
going to start a fire in the living room.
Phil, 110 degrees Celsius. How much is that Fahrenheit?
I don't know, like 5 million? It's
No.
so hot. I don't know how much 110 Celsius is.
I think it's close to like 200 degrees
That
Fahrenheit.
would sound
What? No.
Well, no, because 100 degrees Celsius is boiling point.
Yeah.
Oh
and
my God.
0 Celsius is freezing, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
So-
the whole. That's the whole point of Celsius.
Yeah. So, yeah,
Kooks.
110
Bunch
degrees
of kooks.
Celsius. Half a liter of water will be poured on the stove every 30 seconds so you don't dehydrate. Safety.
But you are cooked
Yes.
like steamed vegetables.
But you're not marinated because use of alcohol is prohibited prior to and during the competition, Joel.
Well, I'm out.
You have to sober up for a half hour.
I don't.
Something you haven't done since you were 14.
Yeah, that's a fair point. But I don't really like saunas. I'm gonna be honest, guys. Saunas and
I
hot
can't
tubs not
imagine
my
you
thing.
like them.
No,
Yeah, you don't seem like the type.
I'm a.
You probably like steam rooms.
Oh,
I like
steam
cold
rooms.
stuff.
It's like
Wow.
being hugged by a cloud.
Yeah, I love it. Your lungs clear out. You huck up the goo that's been in your lungs for a while.
Don't do that in steam
Huck
rooms.
up the goo.
It is starting to get a little warmer in here, guys. Okay, keep reading the rules.
Competitors must wash themselves beforehand and remove any creams and lotions. So, Joel, you're out because you have to wash. Just something you don't do very often.
Like I was still in after I found out I couldn't drink.
Yes. Competitors must sit erect, their buttocks and thighs on the bench.
On that cedar.
If you want to masturbate to any rule, this is the one. Because they say erect, buttocks, and thighs all
Yeah.
in a row. Right?
We've all been there.
We've all been there. Here's another one to jerk off to. Ordinary swimsuits must be used. Pant legs in men's swimsuits may be up to 20 centimeters long, and women's shoulder straps may be up to 5 centimeters wide. So
Wow.
apparently they're more concerned about you covering extra skin than not enough.
Why would you do that? Could you get an advantage from?
I
like,
imagine
I
you
think the
must.
wood gets hot. You're sitting on planks, so like they mandated
Oh.
because if you wanted to maybe cover more of your body, longer swim trunks might be an advantage for the males.
Makes sense. Hair that reaches the shoulders must be tied into a ponytail. So, Joel, you're out. Because how are you going to take that gorgeous mop and tie it
This
into a ponytail?
is really antagonizing.
It
Phil.
really
You-
is.
You keep coming after me.
What's next, Phil?
Touching the skin and brushing is prohibited. So, Joel, you're out. Because you know that ladies can't stop touching your skin when they're in your sweaty presence.
That's true.
Competitors must not disturb each other. I like this as a rule for damn near any sport. Competitors must not disturb each other. I like that. At the request of the judges, competitors must show that they are in their senses with a thumbs up. Got to give them a little thumbs up to show that their brain's still working.
Okay, I watched Mike Utley give a thumbs up as they carted him off the field in 1991 after a spinal injury. I don't
Was
know
he
if this is
okay?
Great. Well, no, he still can't walk.
Yeah, but he gave the thumbs up, so he was saying, I'm not sweating to death.
It was a big moment, but also, like, I don't know. I feel like you could give a thumbs up even when you're sweating to death.
Yeah, well, this guy, luckily nobody, we'll keep going. Competitors must be able to leave the sauna unaided to qualify.
Oh, like you have to be able to walk out under your own
Yep.
power. If you get up, collapse in a heap,
Yep.
you
And they
are
have to call the medics, then
disqualified.
you're out of here. A breach of the rules results in a warning. Another one results in disqualification. 2 strikes, you're out. Just like baseball. The last person leaving the sauna unaided is the winner.
All right.
This sounds like a death trap.
Do you want to hear the good news?
I love it.
There is no good news. The death of one finalist and near death of another during the 2010 championship made the organizers announce that they will not hold another.
Oh.
After an 11-year run.
Sad face.
Yep. 11-year run, somebody done died.
I'm picturing, the guy who or girl who was taken out of the sauna having nearly died and thought, "Oh gosh darn it.
Yeah.
I lost." And then the thrill they must have felt later when it's like, "Hey, guess what?
Right?
Sven died. You're the champ."
I bet the champ that year was still a little bit down, though.
I think it's possible this is when officials realized, when she gave us the thumbs up, I don't think she was being entirely honest with us.
She
I
might
don't
have
know.
gotten Weekend at Bernie's a little there.
She might not have had all of her faculties when she
Yeah.
gave us the thumbs
Maybe
up.
something more complicated than the simple thumbs up. And
There is good news in all of this, though.
And what's that, Phil?
No, I'm going to start talking now. An investigation revealed that the contestants who died may have been on painkillers and ointments that were forbidden by the organizers, so the organizing committee was not charged for negligence.
Well, they also-
doping. They were doping.
So that's the silver lining in the cloud, right?
Being a silver line. This sounds like an old people sport. Am I right about that?
Oh no. I think
no.
this is like something, Finland and those people, they do the thing where they go in the hot tub or the sun and they go jump in the snow.
Yeah.
It's a very youthful thing.
Yeah. I mean,
I-
I like jumping into like really cold water periodically because I think it makes you feel great. But
I imagine that this probably. I mean, it seems like the pictures that I saw, seemed like they must have been in pretty good shape. Seems like their body has to be able
High
to hold together
pain
well.
tolerance.
wonder
Right,
how much.
exactly.
Wonder how much water weight you lose over the course of one sauna.
All of it.
Like a
All of
million.
it.
Yeah, a million. So let's take a guess here. There's a men's division and a women's division. So one country took the men's competition, won every single year, all 11 years. What country do you think it was?
I'm gonna have to go with Finland.
All right, Jordan.
Sweden.
The correct answer is Finland. Finland.
It
Yes.
started in Finland.
But I want to run down the list of winners because this is entertaining. 1999, Ati Maravita. 2000, Leo Pusa. 2001, Leo Pusa. 2002, Leo Pusa. 2003, Timo Kamkonen. 2004, Leo Pusa. 2005, Timo Kakoen. 2006, Timo Kakoen. 2007, Timo Kakoen. 2008, Bjarni Hermansen. 2009, Timo Kakoen. 2010, Ilkka Poiheit. In other words, it seems to be a running theme on here, and on the women's side, it's kind of the same. It seems like the same 3 people are just winning every single year.
What are the times they're putting in here? How long are they staying in this? Like we're thinking like a 200-degree sauna.
What is the record?
So
I
the
wonder
record,
What is the record for someone who survived? Let's be specific.
all right. I'm seeing a bunch of records here. I'm just skinning through the article really quick, but I see one that was 5 minutes and 41 seconds.
Oh, that's
I
that's
see
really
another
not
that
that
was
long.
6
200
minutes.
degrees.
Yeah.
200 degrees Celsius, man. That's
I feel like I've been in a sauna that was, 100 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's... And it smelled of cedar.
yeah. No, that's how long it takes somebody to die in there.
Who can smell the most cedar?
You walk in, and 6 minutes later, you dead. You a cooked turkey, dog. Not a jive turkey. You a cooked turkey. All right, that comes to an end. Another Weird Sports Hockey Cooked Turkey.
It is getting really hot in here, guys.
All right, everyone, that brings us to the end of another Sports podcast. Before we go, we'd like to give you our contact information.
Our Gmail address is... No, I'm going to do it the normal way. You can contact us via email at sportspodcast@gmail.com. That's sportspodcast@gmail.com. You can find us at Twitter at sports3podcast. That's at sports3podcast. You can find us on Facebook by searching Sports Podcast, your little top bar thingy. You can find all of our past episodes on Stitcher Radio. go to the Stitcher.com, download the Stitcher app today, and search for Sports Podcast. You can find all of our back episodes on ComedyPodcastNetwork.com, and you can find us on iTunes by searching Sports, the number 3 Space Podcast. That's Sports, the number 3 Space Podcast. And while you're there, please rate and review. We work hard. Rate and review us.
Absolutely. The fire I started in your living room, Phil, to mimic the sauna championships has grown out of control.
Smells of burning upholstery, not cedar.
Not cedar
Yeah,
at
I
all.
smell burnt toast.
That said, I do think we have reached the appropriate 110 degrees Celsius, and it's quite hot.
You have received this transmission from the Comedy Podcast Network. For more shows, visit comedypodcastnetwork.com.